still enjoy a great tasting beer.
Make Yingling Flight part of your summer plan.
Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer.
DG Yingling and Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Enjoy responsibly.
Yeah, see, this is what the Chuck and Bo show is.
Employee pricing for everyone and 0% financing on all 2026 GMC Sierra 1500s at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. You pay what we pay on GMC Sierra 1500s. And for well-qualified buyers, get 0% financing or save $15,000 off on the last remaining 2025 GMC Hummer. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny to partly cloudy skies. Our high temperatures this afternoon in the mid to upper 80s. Later on tonight, any cloud cover moves out through the overnight. We drop down upper 60s to low 70s. Friday, partial sunshine, slight chance of showers and storms across the north. The high near 90. I'm Sally Russell with the forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Colorworks. Whether it's the weather or just life, call Andy at Colorworks Paint and Body for all your auto body repairs. Big or small, old or new, they are the choice for auto body repair.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Is your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore? Dr. Bo Sparkman at Valley Family Dental Practice, Fort Smith, can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 226-3500. Get rid of your CPAP with Valley Family Dental at Riley Farm in Fort Smith and Roland, Oklahoma.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 44 days.
This hour of the Morning Rush is driven by Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale and online at rathmitsubishi.com. You're rolling with Rath on the Morning Rush.
Roads? We don't need roads.
They're in victory formation. And this one's going to come to a merciful end. It needed to end. Notre Dame has come to Fayetteville and blasted the Razorbacks. Their fans celebrate on the far sideline. Sam Pittman, Marcus Freeman meet at midfield. 56-13, the final score.
Last year has absolutely zero to do with what we're doing moving forward. I understand, like I said, limited retention from staff all together and players, but ultimately those players that chose to come back, I think, are the ones that are going to help us make a difference moving forward. But what happened in the past, listen, I've got so much respect for the history of Arkansas football, but the recent struggles have nothing to do with us moving forward. That's in the rearview mirror. We're looking forward. I can tell you this, the guys have been working hard. They're excited. We're excited. We don't worry about what's occurred. It's just all eyes moving forward. The guys got the blinders on. We're very excited for the future of our program.
Live from the Bud Light Studios. Produced by Christian Johnston.
With Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
This is the Morning Rush.
It's almost as if Coach Ryan Silverfield listens to the Morning Rush, because that is nearly verbatim, Tommy, of what you said, I believe, yesterday on the show this week.
Y'all should have took his quotes and mine and matched them up in the open.
Well, you could have told us to do that.
Well,
I mean, you had the audio. I mean, if you wanted it, could have done it. But that is
you could have had the idea.
That
anyway,
was Coach yesterday.
It's so true. What happened last year? What happened last week has nothing to do with the kind of week you're going to have this week. You had a bad sales quarter in second quarter. Well, that doesn't mean third quarter's got to suck. We've got to get out of this mindset. Well, last year was 2-10 and lost 10 in a row, and Notre Dame pulled her pants down and put them up the flagpole. Listen, none of that has anything to do with a new coaching staff and a roster that's more than 50% turned over. We got to quit thinking that way. I'm glad to hear the leader of the program have the same viewpoint to start the season.
Well, he had plenty of else to say yesterday. We'll get to some of that audio coming up. He is going to be live here at the main media session coming up at 9:30. We'll have the majority of that in just a bit.
Yep.
Tom's going to be working, so we don't have him later on reacting, but there'll be plenty to react to today following Coach Silverfield coming up.
Yeah.
And we've got some other clips that we'll play throughout the morning as well.
Got a full show. All right, this hour is going to set up a little bit different. So breaks are going to come a little bit different time, the flow of this hour, but we're going to clear the deck so that in the last half hour, it's all Ryan Silverfield, unedited, uncut, live from the main stage at SEC Media Days. We're brought to you by the Inn at the Mill, 479-443-1800. Start booking those football weekends now. I was calling yesterday, check availability for the Georgia game. Very tight. So if you want a room for that weekend, better move on it. And other home games as well. 479-443-1800. 443-1800 and online at inatthemill.com.
All right, so we're going to hear from Coach Silverfield. We've got some things to get into also from the players yesterday. John Summerall had one of the better media clips of the week thus far in Tampa. And then also Nick Saban had some thoughts post-coaching career in the media side of things that we can get to as well. I think how he phrased that, where like he talks about like respecting the history of Arkansas football and there are good parts, but like it's like you know how you sometimes have to say you take the bad with the good. Well, in this case, he's not taking the bad with the good. He's trying to flush everything that happened. And listen, I have no idea what's going to happen this fall. I think they're going 4-8. I hope I'm wrong on that, but at least he again echoed that same thing you talked about, and hopefully the players that were here last year feel that same way. It's like last year doesn't matter. We've got to look forward to what's the future starting in September of 26.
You know, and you know what else? The reverse of that's true as well. Just because you went 10-2 doesn't mean 10-2 is going to happen.
Like Andy. Mm-hmm.
You know, so we sit here and we come up with this idea that, history is prophecy somehow. And that, once we get to status quo that we're happy with, it will forever be the same. Well, how do you get to 10-2? Well, a lot of hard work, a lot of evaluation of players that's right, a lot of great recruiting, change in culture, all these things. Mm-hmm. But then that's hard. But you know what's harder is to maintain it. So Ryan Silverfield has a hell of a job here in front of him to get the culture changed and get this thing turned around. Still, I think with half an arm tied behind his back. I don't know that he's got both hands tied.
Yeah. But
I still don't think he has the resources yet to compete in the middle of the league. Forget the top 2 or 3 or 4 schools. Just can you be 6, 7, or 8 in this league? I think he'll have that for next year, but I don't think he even has it this year. So I'm not sure he's fully armed and ready to go for the 26 season. When he had to go make those decisions. I don't think the school had the money for him to spend back when they were making those commitments 6 months ago.
So I know everyone has their opinion on what success looks like in year one for Arkansas under Silverfield. And he was asked about that yesterday, and here's how he kind of defined it in his own words.
I think the biggest thing, and this is not coach speak, is can we go out there and get better every single day, right? We want to be the best in the country of the controllables, right? When fans watch the games, when the media watches, like, man, that team is playing with great effort, right? They're out there playing with great passion. They're a disciplined football team, right, that's going out there and taking care of the football, right? Playing as little penalties as we possibly can. That's part of being disciplined. I
think the controllables word, like he said some coach speak stuff in there, even though he said this isn't coach speak. It just is because he's a coach. But I think the asset that he hit on there, and he has said that over and over and over every single, whether it's a local media session, a national media session, a podcast that he's been on, is the turnovers. And he knows like what he was walking into. His team benefited in Memphis last year because of one of Arkansas's turnovers. So he knows that it's not hard to look up where Arkansas is in the turnover differential, not just last year but previous years. And I just hope that it actually is a reflection of what happens this upcoming season.
It's not hard to figure out. Penalties, like he's talking about. Are you lining up right? He just drove you nuts in years past where you get a 5-yard penalty that would erase a positive play because you were in an illegal formation. How many times have we just thrown the remote at the TV over something stupid? turnovers, we talk about that, giving up huge chunks of field position that way. Turnovers on special teams are even more costly. So, yeah, the things that you can take care of, clock management, timeout management, all of those things. It doesn't mean that every time you call a play on 3rd and 1, it's going to work. But did you line up correctly? And did you give yourself a chance? The other team's going to make great plays too. Question is, can you get out of your own way? And there's been a lot of instances where Arkansas has gotten in their own way and prevented success just because, you made it really easy on your opponent to stop you when you're doing half the job for him, stopping yourself.
Well, another thing he discussed yesterday, and I would guess he's going to mention this coming up in his main media session, is the quarterback battle. And here's kind of what he said on a timeline there.
The quarterback competition, I'm going to call training camp going all the way up till the first game. That's the reality of it. I hope to have an answer late August, but I can't promise that. You may not find out till I do when that opening coin toss of that first game.
Now, come on now.
I kind of laughed.
If you don't know before then I've got a problem with you.
The players need to know before the game.
He was kidding, Christian. Yeah, he's joking there. Yeah. But I did kind of snicker a little bit when he said that.
But why would that part's coach speak? But I truly believe that they don't have this thing completely figured out. And why would you tell someone, hey, the job's already yours? No need to work your tail off in camp. No need to go earn the job. I'm just going to hand you the job right now, KJ. I mean, why would a coach do that? Make him earn it.
I don't think there's 9 or 10 other solidified starting quarterbacks in the league that I don't think are.
But they're obvious. They are obvious.
Okay. No, that's true, but I think then when it comes down to it, KJ Jackson's your starter this fall.
And you may be right. He probably is the leader in the clubhouse if there is such a thing at this point.
Yeah.
But until the coach puts the stamp on it, it's not official. So, and you're going to look at A.J. Hill and say, hey, you don't have a chance. We're barring injury, you're not the guy. Well, what's his motivation? To be the best in the field. I mean, so competition makes everybody stronger. Brought to you by APAC and Standard Materials Group. 479-587-3300 is the number. 479-587-3300. Top quality aggregates, whether you need certain diameters, certain sizes of things from riprap down to crushed gravel and limestone. For whatever your engineers, your architects, and people have told you need for a job site. Sand, gravel, ready-mix concrete, asphalt, everything you need to complete the job on time and on budget. 479-587-3300 for APAC and Standard Materials Group.
All right, when we come back, we're going to hear more from Coach Silverfield, plus also Sutton Smith and Quincy Rhodes about their head football coach. The Morning Rush continues live from Radio Row, SEC Media Days in Tampa, Florida, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
We are live at SEC Media Days in Tampa, Florida. Our coverage of SEC Media Days is brought to you by the Stadium.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner. Kevin Hart here to tell you all about Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus salsa. Hey guys, I kind of feel like you're chopping off my head a little bit. I'm the money. Don't forget that. It's spicy, balanced with a sweet and tangy citrus touch that makes everything taste even better. And the best part is it comes with. I kind of still feel like you ain't got all of me. The best part is it comes with anything on the Cantina menu. So you better try it before it's gone.
New jalapeno citrus salsa, the sauce with more main character energy than Kevin Hart.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started. Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor Eve from Woodland. Think about it.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
Richard's Paint Products was chosen by me to perform for you.
I'm Tim Shepard. I'm running for Washington County Judge. People come to Washington County for a reason, to raise a family, build a future, and enjoy the beauty of a place we call home. No matter how long you've lived here, we all want the same things: safe communities, responsible growth, and leaders who get things done. I'm Tim Shepard, and I'll work every day to keep Washington County the best place to live, work, raise a family, and call home. I'd appreciate your vote November 3rd.
Paid for by the committee to elect Tim Shepard, Washington County Judge.
I'm Wendy Howerton, and I'm running for Circuit Judge here in Washington-Madison County. I've been practicing here for 20 years, representing people just like you in everyday matters.
It's going to be justice for all. Everyone there is going to have a voice, and all those people who don't have a voice, they're going to have one in my courts. And I'm going to apply the law evenly, impartially, like it should be.
I'm here to protect all your constitutional rights because they've never been more important than they are now.
Paid for by the Howerton campaign.
Danger. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Championship caliber teams like the Razorbacks rely on proven performers. So do smart businesses. That's why Datamax proudly partners with Kyocera Office Technology, recognized by Keypoint Intelligence for delivering the industry's most consistent color performance. Kyocera is built for reliability, security, and results you can count on. Combined with the local service and support you've trusted for years, it's a winning combination for your business. Datamax, relevant technology, raving results.
Save up to $4,000 on in-stock 2026 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off on this top-selling midsize SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
And McFadden goes 73 yards. And
Ballot has a wide open man. It's Charles. He's loose. He scores.
Sounds please. Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
ARKNSAS. This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
He's easy to believe in for me because he's been believing in me since day one. He's somebody you want to go out there, play for, go to war for. He believes in us, and that fills me up with confidence, so I go out there and play for him.
That's Arkansas running back Sutton Smith talking about Ryan Silverfield. Sutton will be with the main media coming up in just a bit. Going to be sharing carries, sharing the load with Braylon Russell this fall. Followed him to Memphis, followed him to Arkansas. Now the transition from going to Group of 5 to Power 4 in SEC football this year, Tommy.
Yeah, a little peek behind the curtain. If you're wondering, well, how does Taya have all these great clips from media days with the players when today's their day? Team flew in yesterday and met with you guys in the local media yesterday, which is a break from what they have always done in the past, which is usually fly in the morning of or late the night before. So you guys got some early access yesterday before their long tour of duty today here with the media.
Tour, yeah. And it was nice to be able to talk with not just Coach Silverfield, but the players as well. You kind of knew the backstory on Sutton Smith, being that he started at Memphis and now in Fayetteville. You knew that Quincy Rhodes, his first scholarship offer with Memphis, but Silverfield also explained he's known Caden Kittler a while for
Quincy Rhodes Jr., and I'll talk about more of this tomorrow. All right, the young man that I knew in high school and was his first offer at high school from Memphis. Obviously, Sutton Smith, right, a running back that were committed to us out of high school, and we were talking about today, even when he called and FaceTimed me from the hotel in Memphis to commit and how he stayed loyal throughout that time, even when schools came for him in high school recruitment. And then, a guy like Caden Kittler actually took an official visit to us out of high school to come visit us, ultimately chose UCF. And you think about what those guys are, the way they work, the way they go about their business. They're leaders of this team, but they also understand what we're all about. They're the ones that are building this culture, right? I'm there just driving the bus and just been so pleased, not only with the way they work, but the way they go about leading day by day.
Those are guys that you could potentially see as captains. I think a lot of times the SEC Media Day attendees end up being captains whenever they announce that selection. I would guess in a couple weeks, Quincy's going to be looked at as a guy that you follow by example. And he talked about there are some elements to his game he's trying to figure out as well, not just be a getting to the quarterback guy, but finishing some run-stopping plays and elsewhere. So he knows he's got some improvement before he moves on to the National Football League as well.
Yeah, and so he's probably the highest ranked, most pro-ready player on this team in Quincy Rhodes. So if he doesn't have a good year, and he's probably going to face some double teams, it probably is going to mean the defensive line and the defense as a whole probably didn't have a great year. So I'm not going to say as Quincy goes, the defense goes, but, he's got to set the tone up front.
Well, he is the highest-rated player on College Football 27.
It's cool. To be honest, I think it was like 2014 when they started making it. So after that, I never would have thought they would have brought it back. But the way that media is, technology is, they kind of were forced to bring it back. So I knew everything was going to take time. And after last year's performance, it kind of put me on the pole. I guess been a great high overall players.
Think he takes pride in that. He was kind of smiling, laughing when we was discussing it yesterday.
Oh, that's cool. That's something you'll have forever. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure he's getting a nice check. It's not going to change your life and set your family up, but all these players in here are getting a little bit of a little scratch out of this game too.
Yeah. Big C, did you buy it? I know you sometimes game. Did you buy it?
I haven't bought it yet.
Okay. Do you plan on doing that?
Yeah, I do. Maybe when the season gets a little closer and I kind of get the college football fever. Mm-hmm. But right now I'm kind of just waiting on the price to go down a little bit.
That's honestly, that's not a bad. What are we? 40? Is it 44 days? 47 days out?
No. We're 44 days.
Okay, that's what I thought. This is an old log I'm looking at. Yeah, 44 days out to Razorback football. It's going to be here before we know it.
All right, that's the Hog Update. It is brought to you by Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. You work hard for your time off, so make it count. Whether it's land, a home, or just the place you want to go get away, Farm Credit of Western Arkansas offers financing options designed for your lifestyle. Visit myaglender.com or stop by one of their 25 locations and let their team help you turn your plans into reality.
All right, so Ryan Silverfield set to speak at the main stage coming up here in about 9 minutes. We're going to have that audio for you. I wonder if he'll have a John Summerall type of situation like yesterday.
Let your voice be heard. Call or text the Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
You'd be kicked out of our team meeting. I swear. You're lucky I'm not going to throw this freaking podium right now. It drives me crazy.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hey, Fort Smith, have you seen the all-new Bass Pro Shop outpost on Bass Pro Drive off Rogers Avenue? Step inside and check out the Pradco store within a store, where you can create something truly one of a kind. Pick from iconic lure shapes like the Booyah One Knocker or the Bandit 100, to name only a few. And have it custom autographed just the way you want it. It's fun, it's personal, and it's only at the brand new Bass Pro Outpost. Swing by today and make your own custom lure.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert.
This is Matt.
This is Raleigh, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
We are the only family, alumni, and locally owned Razorback store. We went to school here. We live here. We get what every Razorback logo means.
Plus, we're the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, and almost every item that comes into our store has our stamp of approval. We want the best graphic on the best items, and that's what sets us apart.
Whether it's pennants, fan cave items, or other clothing, we take the time to get it right. Hey, Dad, do you know what they call a pallbearer from Tulsa?
No, what?
Karaoke.
Matt, that's my job to do the dad joke.
Well, you said you were going to retire someday, so I should start practicing.
Anyway, you can stop by the Stadium Shop at 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville next to Baum Walker Stadium.
Or you can call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Or if you can't get to Fayetteville, you can check us out on the Googleator at shoponrazorback.com.
Dad, you actually got most of that right. How'd you do that?
Well, if you're going to do the dad joke, then I need to step up my Googleator knowledge.
There's no hope for you, is there? Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
It's time.
This is the Morning Rush.
The Roar E dirt bikes are unleashed, and they're ripping up everything you thought you knew about power. Instant torque that snaps your head back, silent speed that hits before you hear it. No gas, no gears, just pure electric domination. Twist it and hold on. Trail, track, street, doesn't matter. These machines are built to shred. Ready to go full throttle without the noise? Get your hands on a Roar E dirt bike today at Wheeler Power Sports. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967 in downtown Fort Smith.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Busy season is here, and C2 Supply is ready to keep you stocked and moving. Whether you're tackling big jobs or everyday work, we've got the supplies to keep things running smoothly. Stop by C2 Supply, 602N, Broadway in Poteau, or give us a call at 918-647-0430. C2 Supply, keeping your jobs moving all season long, and let us see to your supply needs.
Summer is here and adventure is calling. Visit Southern Tire Mart for a new set of Yokohama tires to get your vehicle ready for summer travels. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let Southern Tire Mart ensure your vehicle is ready for the open road. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
When it's time to stock the bar, fill the cooler, or grab the perfect bottle, stop by River Point Wine and Spirits. You'll love our clean, organized store, full of all the best liquor, wine, and beer at the right price. At River Point, we're a family-owned business where customer service is always our priority. So come stock up for game night, date night, or the weekend ahead. Your journey, our spirit. River Point Wine and Spirits, Grand Avenue and I-540.
Ace has always been the helpful place, and now we're even more helpful by offering instant savings to Ace Rewards members. Not a member? Just sign up at Metters Lumber Ace Hardware to start saving right at the register. Right now, you can get $80 off DeWalt Atomic 20-volt brushless impact and driver kits, or $50 off select Ego outdoor power equipment after instant savings with your Ace Rewards card. Ace, the helpful place. Must be an Ace Rewards member to receive instant savings. Available through the end of the month. See participating stores for details.
Is your business getting found online or getting lost in the crowd? Hi, I'm Christy Bedeau with ESPN Arkansas, and I'm here to help you get your products and services found in today's digital world. Not only do we offer connections to the loyal Razorback fan base, but we can help you build, maintain, and grow your online presence. From world-class websites to streaming video commercials, we create the campaign that allows you to be found online and on air. I can help you create a marketing strategy built around your goals that works. Call me, Christy Bedeau, at 208-3012 for a free needs analysis, and let's create a marketing plan that gets you found.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
All right, we are minutes away from Ryan Silverfield stepping to the microphone at SEC Media Days for the first time ever. Is it more important for him to give the information or to be entertaining and engaging? What do you need out of your head coach today?
The latter. Have fun. Be yourself. Let it go.
Lie to us.
You said lie to us.
Tell us we're going to shock the world this year. I think people need a little bit of positivity. I mean, obviously he needs to believe what he's saying, but to some degree, but just be confident. And, I think that's what the fans want. It feels like it's kind of a ship without a direction right now, but this could be the first step in kind of changing the minds of fans.
It's the end of the week. We're on the last day. You're one of the last four coaches to go. Let's see, Lane Kiffin's already been there today, so you're amongst the last three coaches to speak. So, you don't need to steal the show at this point. But I do think you need to show some personality, some authenticity, to really put people at ease to some degree that are on the fence about you, but also to let people know that, hey, our program's in good hands and you got a likable person in charge of it.
All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. Coach Silverfield coming up in just a bit. Cart Pass Social, you can play over 1,000 different golf courses. They've got their summer memberships going on through September, and you can check them out at cartpasssocial.com. 122 Grant Place in Lowell. That is Cart Pass Social. It's always BYOB at Cart Pass Social.
All right, Coach Silverfield in just seconds. If you got to go into work, go into a meeting, take us along on the Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell. So if you're going to be away from the radio, we got you covered. Put us on your phone, the Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell. If you're craving something cheesy, saucy, or crunchy, Taco Bell has you covered, and you can keep up with Media Days right here.
Bang, bang. Tommy, I have a statement to make before we go to Coach Silverfield. I think Dr. Pepper Zero might be better than Coke Zero.
That's a bold statement.
It's pretty good.
It's a bold statement. Yeah, you're down there where you are cordoned in. You have no other choice. There is no Coke. There is no Coke Zero. You've got what? The brand, well, I forget which brand of water that they've got, but Dr. Pepper and Diet Dr. Pepper is basically it.
Core hydration.
Core hydration, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have all you want, but they put you in this room with all the Dr. Peppers you ever want to drink. That's what Media Days is. And then you got to go, because I got to pee. I think he said he had to pee.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper Zero. It's pretty lit.
Please tell me you know what movie that's from.
Yeah, it's Forrest Gump.
All right.
We played that in our open before.
But you've never watched the movie, though.
I haven't watched the movie. Nope. Big C is right.
I gotta pee.
Ryan Silverfield begins his first
Here we go.
season as the head coach at the University of Arkansas, arriving in Fayetteville from Memphis, where he served as head coach for the last 6 years after taking over leadership of the Memphis program in December of 2019, as teams went 50-25, including a pair of 10-plus win seasons in 2023 and 2024, while earning bowl eligibility in all 6 years. With 8 wins last season, Memphis posted 29 victories in 3 seasons to rank among the nation's top 15 programs in victories. His final Memphis team also extended the program streak to 12 straight bowl appearances, the longest streak among group of 6 programs in the nation. Ryan began his coaching career at his alma mater, the Bolles School, in 1999. As a player at Bolles, he was a member of 2 state championship teams. Ryan has something in common with a couple of legendary Arkansas names, Frank Broyles and Houston Nutt. Ryan and his wife, Katie, just like Houston and Frank, have twin daughters, Adeline and Cecilia. Welcome to the stage, the head coach of the University of Arkansas, Ryan Silverfield.
All right, thank you for being here. Before we get started, I think it's important that I mention with the recent passing of Jim Lindsay that our thoughts and prayers are with his family and his friends at this time. Certainly a Razorback legend and an icon throughout the entire state of Arkansas. So we're thinking about him and his family at this time. With that being said, the last 8 months have been a whirlwind. They've been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of exciting times. Couldn't be more pleased with the way it's gone, the work that's been put in. Obviously, a lot of unknowns heading into the 2026 football season with near 80 new players on our team, not almost an entirely new staff, but a lot of excitement, a lot of work has been put in, and can't wait to talk about our Razorback team today. That being said, as you guys have had the opportunity to meet with so many of our players, we have 3 of our players here today, and I want to briefly touch on them. Quincy Rhodes Jr., okay, Quincy's a young man from North Little Rock that I actually had the opportunity to know really since his junior year of high school. In fact, at Memphis, we were his first offer out of high school, so it was exciting when he decided at our press conference to come back and say, hey, I'm going to be a part of this thing moving forward and finish up my last year with you as the head coach. Then you have a young man, Caden Kittler. Caden actually took an official visit to Memphis out of high school, and so he's another young man that I've known now for 6 years. When I got the head job, we FaceTimed with his parents, and they decided that they were going to continue to be a part of the Razorback family as well. And then lastly, Sutton Smith. Sutton's a young man that committed to us as a junior in high school at Memphis, and throughout his career there, had many SEC schools actually calling him, trying to get him to transfer, and he said, you know what, I'm going to stay loyal to Memphis and loyal to Coach Silverfield. And ultimately, when the opportunity came for us both to be here, he decided it was his best interest. And Sutton's a guy that I'm excited for the rest of the country and the rest of the SEC to see what he's all about. I know we're going to talk about the rest of the roster here in a little bit. Obviously, the question is about the quarterback battle. Great faith in the 2 guys that are competing for that starting job as it sits today. KJ Jackson and AJ Hill, both are very, very intelligent. Both are very hardworking. Both have the skill set in order to lead us to a bunch of SEC wins and compete at the highest level. So thrilled with those 2. Everybody keeps saying, when will a decision be made? Listen, they're going to continue to battle through OTAs and summer access, and then through training camp, and then we'll look up later at the end of August and see where it sits. But very pleased with the way each one of those guys is progressing, and looking forward to seeing how they continue to try to lead our offense. Talking about our staff, all right, tried to put together what I believe is a great coaching staff and everybody that's involved in our support staff. You look at it, let's start with our offensive coordinator, Tim Cramsey. Tim has been with us the last 4 years at Memphis and stayed loyal. In fact, as SEC schools called him and tried to get him to come be a coordinator in the SEC, he stayed put and said, I'm going to stay loyal to you and to the school. And then ultimately, when this job came open, he said, let's do this. And he's had a lot of success, a lot of top 25 offenses throughout his career. And if you look at what we did on offense at Memphis, we have no doubt that same success can be reciprocated at the University of Arkansas. A guy named Ron Roberts. All right, Ron Roberts, a lot of you guys have known throughout this league, had a lot of success, has been around, has been an FCS head coach. Have a lot of faith in Ron. In fact, I actually interviewed him while I was at the University of Memphis when he was the D coordinator at Louisiana Lafayette. Tried to bring him a part of our staff and actually couldn't afford his buyout. A couple weeks later, he ended up at Baylor. But a lot of faith in what Ron's doing. He's running the defense, and he knows what it's done. He's looked at a lot of these offenses throughout the SEC, throughout the years, and excited to see what we're going to do on the defensive side of the ball. And then lastly, our special teams coordinator, Chad Lunsford. Chad was most recently at Auburn, and he's a guy that's been a Division I head coach, obviously at Georgia Southern, and had success as a special teams coordinator throughout his career. So excited to add those 3 coordinators and feel very, very confident about the rest of our coaching staff. We feel like we've assembled a great group of guys, a unique mix that ultimately are going to pour into our players and give us the best opportunity to have success. People say all the time, Ryan, what is the expectation in year one? What does success look like in your first season at Arkansas? And this is not coach speak. Truly, can we make improvements every single day, right? Can we be the best in the country at the controllables, everything that we go out there every single day? And for me, success has been set up from not only when we got there in December to the winter workouts in January on, to spring football, where we're getting better, to the summer conditioning and OTAs. Are we making improvements? Are we bigger, faster, and stronger? And those are the things that we can measure on a day-to-day. Are we handling ourselves academically, setting benchmarks and records for the highest GPA, the most community service hours? Those are things that we get to see progress in. But ultimately, we're going to be judged by our wins and losses. We understand that. We want to see our guys go out there and play harder than they have ever before. We can judge by the effort we're playing with in between the white lines. And you watch us, are we playing more disciplined than the Razorbacks of past have played? Are we taking care of the football? Are we winning those close games? Are we finding ways to play better at home? Couldn't be more thrilled for what's exciting and ahead of us for the 2026 football season and beyond. Look forward to seeing so many of our great fans at Razorback Stadium throughout this fall. They've been wonderful so far and can't wait to make them proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Silverfield. If you have a question, raise your hand. We have Lauren, Peyton, and Lane who have microphones, and we'll get them to you. Lauren, come on up here to the second row on the near aisle. Trey.
Hey, Coach. Trey Biddy, Hog Sports, 24/7 Sports. We hear a lot at these events about, coaches say, we're going to do this the right way and all this stuff. A lot of the same stuff, but I'm wondering what makes you different, what makes you unique from other coaches and how you approach.
Yeah, what you see is what you get. There's, to put it in unique terms, there's not a lot of hogwash with me, okay? And I think that, you don't do this for 28 years at every level and BS a bunch of people. I think just constantly pouring to the players, loving them, coaching them hard, holding everybody accountable, and the whole deal. And I've learned a lot along the ways, right? Coached Division III, coached in the NFL, coached, been a head high school coach, and then obviously 10 years at Memphis and had a decent amount of success there. And ultimately, what we're going to do at Arkansas. But I think more than anything, Trey, the only thing I can do is judge by the buy-in, by the people that are involved in our football program. Not just the current roster and the players, but the recruits, the staff, all 200 people involved, right? Is the janitor bought into the way we're going to do things? Is the linebacker grad assistant, right? Is the starting quarterback? Is everybody bought into the way of doing things? And if they are, then we give ourselves the opportunity to have success. And so the one thing Trey, every single day, I'm trying my best to hold everybody accountable, say, hey, this is what we're going to accomplish. This is how we're going to do it. And it starts with me. So I have to be my best every single day. And if I'm not, shame on me. But I'm working for improvement, right? We talked about a team taking steps in the right direction. But as a head coach, how am I improving every single day? And I think that's one of the ways you sit there and you hold yourself accountable. How do you get better? And then, regardless of what other coaches say, it's my job. I got to worry about my own front porch. And every single day we're pulling in the right direction.
Coach will go in for straight in front of me, John, about 4 rows back.
What's up, Coach? John Neighbors of Inside Arkansas. Good to see you. Hope I get to sit down with you sometime. It'll be a lot of fun. But I just had a question that I've been meaning to ask for a few months. A few months ago, your athletic director, Hunter Yurachek, talked about the Arkansas-Utah game, then the Arkansas-Georgia game. Quick turnaround. It even made the quote saying this type of scheduling is unacceptable and demonstrates clear neglect for the well-being of college athletes. I'm just curious, what are your thoughts on that? Was there some efforts on your part with the SEC in trying to fix that problem? And was there a response from the SEC on it?
John, thanks for being here. We can sit down right after this and talk as long as you want, my friend. Listen, first, I appreciate Hunter's backing our football program and having the support and saying, hey, sticking up for us in something that he felt was unfair. And so I'm appreciative of that, regardless of what the issue is, whether it's scheduling, timing, all those things. We also understand what it is, right? As Commissioner had spoken on earlier in the week, that a lot of it has to do with the scheduling conflicts. A lot has to do with television. We understand that. I'm not up here to sit here and complain about anything. Let's go out there and give us the best fight. They ask us to play at 6 a.m., outside. Let's go play in the Bay right now in Tampa, whatever the heck that looks like. If it's midnight, so be it. Obviously, my number one thing is always the well-being of our student athletes, no matter what that looks like. So if there's opportunities that make more sense for the well-being of our football team, so be it. And I appreciate people that are sticking up for us and fighting the good fight. But whatever time they ask us to play, obviously, we got a heck of a challenge going to Utah, and we know the atmosphere there playing at night, and we know the hell of a challenge we have when we face the Georgia Bulldogs and Fayetteville for the SEC opener. But excited for the opportunities, whoever they ask us to play, wherever they ask us to play, and whatever time they ask us to play.
Okay, we'll go over here, Coach, to our left-hand side on the near aisle.
Hey, Coach, this is Reagan Scarta of Inside Arkansas. Coming from a program where you have game planned against Arkansas and other SEC teams, what is something that have you seen in the Razorback program that you're wanting to change?
Yeah, Reagan, that's a great question. Obviously, I've coached against a lot of SEC teams in our 10 years at Memphis, and we're pretty fortunate to have some good success. When I put on that Arkansas film, and again, this is no knock on what occurred before we got there, but the number one thing I said, man, we got to get this team playing more discipline with better effort, and then finding ways to take care of the football. And I think all Razorback fans alike will sit there and nod their heads, say, yeah, let's get those things fixed, and we'll be pretty pleased. And those are things I think that we have the ability to do so immediately. And you watch the guys. There was a lot of guys that had talent on the rosters previously. A lot of guys that played really hard. But it's my job and our job collectively to bring that together. And so hopefully, this time next year, we're talking about, man, it was a different looking team. The way they went out week in and week out and played like their hair was on fire, with great effort, with great discipline. And I think if they do that, we'll be taking steps in the right direction.
Which will go in the center aisle, about 4 rows back. Barry.
Yeah, Ryan, Barry Trammell with the Tulsa World. In the other room, you were talking about assessing what needed to be fixed, and you also talked about Arkansas's great history, McFadden and Broyles and all the names everybody knows. In between, though, have you had a chance to look and see what's been going on at Arkansas for the last 12, 15 years, where the Razorbacks used to be solid contenders, and they really haven't been most of the last 15 years?
Yeah, that's a great question. Obviously, people ask what attracted me to the University of Arkansas and to this job. It was the rich history. And you were exactly right. You look over what's occurred the last 15 years, and obviously there's been some good years, but not to the expectations, the standards that Razorback fans want and that we should suspect, and so should the SEC. And you kind of do a deep dive. The first month on the job, man, you're just putting your head down, you're working, you're assembling a roster, a staff. And then really over the next few months, I said, why has it been this way? Because I look at the opportunity and possible resources that the university has, right? That Northwest Arkansas has to offer, a great place like Fayetteville. And a rabid fan base, fans that showed up at 92% capacity even after last year's record. And they're prideful and they love it, and the great respect we have around the state and the people that love the Razorbacks. And so I looked into it and I said, what is this? And I'm not here to point the finger, but it's a multitude of things that need to get fixed. And I think part of it is just understanding it of alignment. Okay. I'm so glad that we are so successful at other sports. Coach Cal called me last night and said, hey, knock them dead today. You've got great relationships with all the other sports and those people. DVH, all the other sports are having success, all the track and field championships. Those things are great. But why has football not had the recent success? And you go sit there and say, a lot of it's got to be the alignment, right? And where are we doing and what are we doing? And what's it look like, right? Are we fundraising the right way? Are we fundraising enough? Are we building it? Are we recruiting in state well enough? Are we developing players? Does it make sense with the way we're scheduling things from an academic standpoint? Are we truly doing the right things in nutrition? So I've looked at every single thing that has to do with our football program, and some as much as even lighting on game day, right? How do we make this place a better place? And I think I've got quite a few of the answers. Now it's my job, our job, to implement those and start to make those changes. From the very day I got there that night, people joke around that I came in and I said, we need to fix the light bulbs. I said, I cannot believe that we had the players meeting in these dark rooms. And something as small as that may seem like such a small thing, but I believe in how you do anything is how you do everything. And so people now are starting to catch one, okay, this is how we need to do this. We need to step up. We need to be here, better here. We need to support this more. And so listen, every single day we're making changes in the right direction, so that I hope when people talk 15 years from now, they're talking about the most recent 15 years being very similar to the rich history and tradition that we all know and love.
Which will go in the section in front of me on the aisle, Tom.
Hey, Ryan. Tom Murphy, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, Whole Hog Sports. One of the themes I picked up on here is the need to have powerful running games. A lot of the named schools didn't run well. Arkansas ran well last year. But I wonder, what's your take on your offensive line and your running back crew to be able to have a dominant running game?
Yeah, Tom, first off, great question. I love the shirt. Thanks for being here. Yeah, listen, I always believe as an offense, it starts with being able to run the football. Because if you can run the football, it gives you the opportunities to take shots downfield and open up other passing lanes. Now, does that mean we're going to be a team that runs the ball 50 times a game? Maybe not. But have great faith in our offensive line. I believe sitting here today, we have 7 or 8 offensive linemen that can play at a high level in the SEC. It's our job to continue to develop the rest of that group and get them along. But I've got confidence in this offensive line, especially what they can do in the run game. Obviously, schematically, we got to see what makes sense based off our personnel, based off our running backs. And then I've got great faith in our running backs. I'd say this, we have a ton of depth in our running back room. Excited to see what each one of those guys can do. Obviously, Sutton Smith's here. You guys know Braylon Russell, Cam Settles. There's a slew of other guys that are stepping up that we have high expectations for. So I'm pleased with that combination. It should allow us the opportunity to run the ball, but running the football also makes the quarterback putting us in the right decision when the boxes needs to look what it does. Can the receivers block on the perimeter, and can the tight ends handle their role? It's my job to put us in a situation when we hand that ball off that a lot of the first contact for that running back may occur from the second level, third level.
Coach, we'll go over to our right-hand side on the near aisle.
Hey, Coach. Matt Potak, WFOI, St. Augustine, Florida. You grew up in Jacksonville, and you played for the legendary Corky Rogers at Bowles High School, won multiple state championships. Can you talk a little bit about that time growing up in Northeast Florida, playing for Coach Rogers, and how you started your coaching journey there as well after you graduated, and how that shaped you as the person you are today?
Yeah, great question. You can see the giant smile you put on my face. For those that he mentioned the legend Corky Rogers, who at one time was the all-time winningest coach in the state of Florida and one of the top in the country. But the one thing I learned from him, if you look at me, I'm certainly not the biggest or the most athletic. No one's ever accused me of being that. But he afforded us the opportunity to maximize our potential. He taught me the value of work. And I say, no man taught me more than my father, than Corky Rogers. And Coach Rogers is just a true legend because he always held us accountable, going back to that word. And he meant so much, not only to the people at the school, but to the entire Northeast Florida community and obviously throughout the state. A true legend. And the discipline that he instilled in us. I still think about this today, right? Those morning workouts running in the heat of Jacksonville. And I have so much respect for him. And to his credit, after it was declared that I probably wouldn't play college football, that spring of my senior year of high school, our defensive line coach wasn't able to attend spring practices. So he said, hey, why don't you go coach the defensive line? And he didn't have to do that. Obviously, he probably could have picked up the phone and called anybody in the state of Florida, and they would have been glad to immediately come coach even a volunteer role. And that's kind of where I fell in love with the game of coaching and the opportunity to coach. And so, I'm standing here today. This is year 28 for me as coaching. And so much of that goes back to what I learned under Coach Rogers, the things he taught me as a young man that I've continued to instill and hopefully instill in our players today. But I give him so much credit, and glad to see somebody from St. Augustine here today. Thanks.
All right, we'll go back over in the section in front of me on this aisle right there.
Hey, Coach. Welcome to the conference. Cord Samuels of Inside Texas. Could you elaborate a little further on your decision to bring in Ron Roberts as defensive coordinator? You referenced interviewing him in the past. Obviously, he has experience in the conference. Just how important was it for you to get him on board?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think, anybody that understands Ron Roberts and his defensive scheme, I mean, it goes way back even prior to his time at Baylor. Pete Golding, who was here last night, obviously was a Ron Roberts disciple. A lot of the defenses in this conference have formulated somehow from his background in the scheme that he actually created. So I've always had a lot of respect for him, even before I interviewed him when he was at Louisiana Lafayette. And then, you come into the conference, everybody says, well, Ryan, you've never coached in the SEC, but I think it was important to surround myself with some guys that had. And obviously, most recently at the University of Florida, obviously at Auburn before that. And, he's coached against SEC teams even prior to that at Baylor and throughout his career. So much respect for what he does. He has a great understanding of the scheme and a presence about him. So I thought it was important. I have a lot of faith that we'll get this defense turned around.
Okay, we'll go in the center aisle about midway back.
Trip Upton, ESPN 106.7 in Auburn. Coach, you were one of 3 American Conference coaches joining the league this year. What did your time as a head coach in the AAC teach you, and what is your relationship like with Coach Golish and Coach Summerall?
Yeah, Trip, listen, 6 years in the American, 10 years total. So much respect for that conference. And then obviously a lot of respect for the 2 coaches you mentioned. But I think, You look at the group of 5, group of 6, whatever it's now called as we sit here today. I have so much belief that the American Conference is truly the top of that level. In fact, during our time at Memphis, obviously we had fortune to play, as I mentioned earlier, against some of the SEC schools and other, Power 4 teams and have success. And so did a lot of the teams in that conference. Coach Summerall and Coach Golish are 2 guys I've known for quite a while that I've got a lot of respect for. Obviously, they've got their challenges and opportunities ahead for them, but they're 2 good ones, and I'm sure they're working hard to get their programs back where everybody expects as well.
Okay, we'll go over here to our right on the front row.
Jacob Davis, Razorbacks on SI. Ryan, I just got a question for you. The Hogs have been at the bottom of predictions of most preseason rankings. You're at the bottom of most coach rankings. And we know that you're about to take a break from social media, too. You told us that. And you have a 5-1 record against the coaches in this league, 5-1 record against Power 4 teams in general. What would you say to those who are doubting you in the Arkansas program going into this season?
That's great. Keep doubting me. What'd you say my record was against the coaches of this conference?
5-1, Coach.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
Now that's the way to end that, Tommy. That was pretty good. Did Tommy leave?
No, I'm right here.
Okay.
So we're taking ferocious notes, writing feverishly.
That was he's mentioned that with Jason Campbell and Allie Davis.
Yeah.
It's a good way to end that.
Yeah, we're up against the top of the hour coming up, but we'll have more from SEC Media Days and get some thoughts and some clips from Ryan Silverfield's first appearance as he winds it down here in the next few minutes.
A lot of reaction coming up in hour number 2 of the Morning Rush live, Radio Row, SEC Media Days, the Stadium Shop on Razorback, all of our coverage brought to you by them, Robert Elizabeth, Matthew Raleigh. They have it all for you at the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Hey, Fort Smith. Have you seen the all-new Bass Pro Shop outpost on Bass Pro Drive off Rogers Avenue? Step inside and check out the Pradco store within a store, where you can create something truly one of a kind. Pick from iconic lure shapes like the Booyah One Knocker or the Bandit 100, to name only a few. And have it custom autographed just the way you want it. It's fun, it's personal, and it's only at the brand new Bass Pro Outpost. Swing by today and make your own custom lure.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. This is Matt.
This is Raleigh, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
We are the only family, alumni, and locally owned Razorback store. We went to school here. We live here. We get what every Razorback logo means.
Plus, we're the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, and almost every item that comes into our store has our stamp of approval. We want the best graphic on the best items, and that's what sets us apart.
Whether it's pennants, fan cave items, or other clothing, we take the time to get it right.
Hey, Dad, do you know what they call a pallbearer from Tulsa?
No, what?
Karaoke.
Matt, that's my job to do the dad joke.
Well, you said you were going to retire someday, so I should start practicing.
Anyway, you can stop by the Stadium Shop at 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville next to Baum Walker Stadium.
Or you can call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Or if you can't get to Fayetteville, you can check us out on the Googleator at shoponrazorback.com.
Dad, you actually got most of that right. How'd you do that?
Well, if you're going to do the dad joke, then I need to step up my Googleator knowledge.
There's no hope for you, is there? Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
This is the Morning Rush.
What could you do with $10,000? Well, now's as good a time as any to find out. It's time for our very first Wrath Big Ath 10K Summer Giveaway, brought to you by Wrath Auto Resources. Just visit us at 4515 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith and enter to win $10,000. While you're here, check out any one of our great road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles, inspected, reconditioned, and backed by comprehensive warranty. It's the Wrath Big Ath 10K Summer Giveaway, brought to you by Wrath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, WrathAutoFortSmith.com. No purchase necessary, and see dealer for complete rules.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust a team that delivers results. Go to LindberghTeam.com, LIMBERGTEAM.com. BIRD.
This is Daryl Johnston with Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing, and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Employee pricing for everyone and 0% financing on all 2026 GMC Sierra 1500s at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. You pay what we pay on GMC Sierra 1500s. And for well-qualified buyers, get 0% financing or save $15,000 off on the last remaining 2025 GMC Hummer. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Spring is here, and it's the perfect time to upgrade your home. If your garage door needs repair or you're ready for a new look, call Precision Garage Door. From broken springs and openers to brand new doors, they provide expert service and professional installation. Fully licensed and insured, with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers, and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call 844-PDS-DOOR or visit PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Precision Garage Door, voted the best in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
It's the Monster Burger Eating Contest brought to you by Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and HitThatLine.com. We're going to be at Hardee's locations Tuesdays and Thursdays. Listen daily and watch our posts for time and place for your chance to qualify. I know you want to see the Raiders take on the Chiefs at Allegiant Stadium in Vegas. Well, come in to Monster Burger in 150 seconds or less at one of the qualifiers, and you're entered for your chance to win the 21st football trip of a lifetime. All of this is brought to you by Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and HitThatLine.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny to partly cloudy skies. Our high temperatures this afternoon in the mid to upper 80s. Later on tonight, any cloud cover moves out through the overnight. We drop down upper 60s to low 70s. Friday, partial sunshine, slight chance of showers and storms across the north. A high near 90. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Colorworks. Whether it's the weather or just life, call Andy at Colorworks Paint and Body for all your auto body repairs. Big or small, old or new, they are the choice for auto body repair.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 44 days.
This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light.
Can't drink all day unless you start early.
Celebrate America's 250th anniversary with an ice-cold Bud Light.
They're in victory formation, and this one's going to come to a merciful end. It needed to end. Notre Dame has come to Fayetteville and blasted the Razorbacks. Their fans celebrate on the far sideline. Sam Pittman, Marcus Freeman meet at midfield. 56-13, the final score.
Last year has absolutely zero to do with what we're doing moving forward. I understand, like I said, limited retention from staff altogether and players, but ultimately those players that chose to come back, I think, are the ones that are going to help us make a difference moving forward. But what happened in the past, listen, I've got so much respect for the history of Arkansas football, but the recent struggles have nothing to do with us moving forward. That's in the rearview mirror. We're looking forward. I can tell you this, the guys have been working hard. They're excited. We're excited. We don't worry about what's occurred. It's just all eyes moving forward. The guys got the blinders on. We're very excited for the future of our program.
Live from the Bud Light Studios, produced by Christian Johnston.
With Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft. This is the Morning Rush.
And it's hour number 2 of the Morning Rush live Radio Row SEC Media Days in Tampa, Florida, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Tommy, that was a good way to end it.
Yeah.
I think on our airwaves.
Yeah, we'll go through some of Ryan Silverfield's comments. I thought his final comment about his record against the teams in the SEC was good. We'll hear that again and go through some of the highlights of Ryan Silverfield's first appearance at SEC Media Days. We're brought to you by Uncorked, Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's in Fort Smith. Live music tomorrow night with Gary Hutchinson at Uncorked. He'll be there 6 to 9. You can make your reservations now at uncorkthefort.com. I know it's a little warm, but yesterday it was late afternoon here. Like a cool front had moved through, no humidity. It was down into the 80s. Felt good last night around 7 o'clock. So great patio weather is where I'm headed with the comment here. Uncorked's got a wonderful outdoor area that you can enjoy. TVs out there, very comfortable furniture. Great place for this. So don't forget live music tomorrow night, a great menu, wonderful selection of wines by the bottle or by the glass. They even have the Indomatic machines where you can get the card and you can try even smaller portions of a variety of wines as well. Great bourbons and more, all available. Uncorked, Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's in Fort Smith. So what'd you think, Ty? We were able to share with the audience the 24 minutes of that. What were your immediate takeaways?
Well, heard a lot of what he said at the podium yesterday when he spoke with us, about 13, 14 minutes. I'm going to be honest, I thought about going in there, but the last thing I wanted was for something to go wrong audio-wise, so I stayed right next to it just to make sure. I still think I think one of the questions you've posed that we've yet to ask is just about the competitions outside of the quarterback. Left tackle would be one that stands out.
Mm-hmm.
There are some other position groups that I'd be curious to see. Hey, Coach, what are some position battles that have not been solved that you're really, really interested in seeing what happens here in these next few weeks during fall camp?
So Coach Silverfield spoke for about 7 minutes before taking questions. He opened with a comment remembering Jim Lindsey. I thought that was very spot on in understanding what's important right now in many of your Razorback fans of a certain age's mind, and certainly a family that's well connected to the Razorback program. As he went through Quincy Rhodes and talked about Caden Kettler and talked about Sutton Smith, the players there with him, and then got into his coaching staff and his quarterbacks. Kind of went in that order. Players with him, quarterbacks, then he went to his coordinators. I think I quit counting at 7 or 8, but he used the phrase, they stayed loyal. Yeah. That was a phrase that was repeated multiple times in that first 7 or 8 minutes for Ryan Silverfield today. You can tell that is something that's important to him, but loyalty is a quality or a characteristic that's probably talked about often in staff meetings and team meetings, because that phrase stayed loyal was used multiple times in that opening address.
Yeah, I think any time you can keep continuity with players and coaching staff, it definitely helps. I think about just us in our own work lives. It's been nice to kind of know what to expect. 7 going on 8 years. I think when you have coworkers that you've been around for a while, you know their positives and negatives. You know what kind of makes them tick. And I know there's a lot of roster turnover, 60-plus players. That's the most in the SEC, and the most transfers as well. Hopefully they can assimilate as quick as they can with some of the guys that kind of know what to expect from Ryan Silverfield. But, yeah, the loyalty aspect you pointed out stood out to me as well.
Talked about making daily improvements. That's how he's measuring what's going on. Again, back to controlling controllables was mentioned early on twice. And then he talked a lot about effort, the effort with the players, more discipline and more effort, which means as he's watched film, and this is common to hear as a new administration takes over in these kind of transitions, that we got to get bigger, faster, stronger, which was another phrase he used, and we got to play with more effort. So these are not things that have never been spoken before at SEC Media Days, but those were some of the main points in his first 7 or 8 minutes. Went on into the questioning. What you see is what you get with me. I think he was pretty consistent today with what we've seen and heard so far, Ty, throughout his tenure over the last 7-ish months, dating back to December when he was hired.
You made a comment earlier this week that I agree with. Like, he's taking over a football program that, while is no means in great shape, is not in the same disarray it was when Chad Morris was fired back in 2019. You couple that with COVID and a 10-game SEC schedule, which I realize that we got the toughest schedule in college football, but it's still slightly better than whatever it was in 2019 and 2020. If you're trying to find some positives, what he's taking over. But the effort aspect, I mean, we played the Notre Dame call. Like, you and I were obviously sitting next to each other, and we left at half because there was no effort being displayed by the guys in red and white on the football field that day. There were other games that they showed it, and you just came up short by 3 or 7 points 5 times, 0-5 in the 1 games. But you just hope, like that was, I think that was frustrating about Sam Pittman at times. Like his team would have effort. They'd lose 3 points. They'd lose by 7. But once they let go of the rope in that Notre Dame game, you knew there was a change coming. And hopefully in game number 2 in Salt Lake City at 9:15 Central Time, we see this team come out firing against the Utes.
Another moment I thought was noteworthy when he was asked about Hunter Yurachek going to battle with the SEC and the TV networks, and we'll hear this quote again. He appreciated Hunter Yurachek going to bat for his football program, but he said, I'm not here to complain about anything, and something along the lines of, we'll play at 6 a.m. in the Bay if that's what they want us to do. So I thought that was another good quote.
That's what JT said that stood out to him.
So,
the best here's the best quote, though, and it's the tail end of at least the coverage we got. He spoke for a few more minutes after, but like Tommy said, we had to hit a break. And he's talked about this before, and I'm telling you, this pisses him off because he's coming in with these coaches that he's compared and that they are put in levels above him. Just listen to how he answers the question about John Summerall and Alex Goldlich.
You have a 5-1 record against the coaches in this league, 5-1 record against Power 4 teams in general. What would you say to those who are doubting you in the Arkansas program going into the season?
That's great. Keep doubting me. What'd you say my record was against the coaches in this conference?
5-1, Coach.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm not watching. I wasn't watching it visually, Tommy. I don't know if you guys had it there. I'm going to guess that he was smiling or smirking at the time. Maybe someone that was watching it would have said that. But, like, and I know yesterday, he told us that we're not reading into the narratives. We're not using that as motivation. But you can read into, like, that's motivating to him. Like, I've played these guys. I've coached against these guys. And I have a good record against these guys. Not just the Summerall and Goalish, but SEC opponents as well.
Well, you want to keep that good record.
Yes.
5-1 can't become 5-5 by by the end of next year when you start playing somebody. You don't play all of those guys. Obviously, he plays Auburn this year, and I don't go through that list. But bottom line is, it's 5-1 now. What's it going to be in a couple of seasons?
Yeah.
He talked about taking care of the football, something we've hammered on. Some of the obvious stuff, just effort, discipline. He came back to that on multiple occasions. Then he got into the alignment of the program, looking at every single thing from lighting to scheduling. And he has told the story on multiple occasions about coming in, and he told it again today about changing the lighting in the team meeting rooms. But he also had a phrase there, how you do anything is how you do everything. So he is clearly a granular guy, or at least wants to project that he's getting into a lot of the detail. And once he got through that first month of getting staff and roster situated, he got into a lot of the detail about why they were where they were and how to fix the problems that have gotten the program into the situation of 2-10 last year.
Well, and that's you've got to find areas that not only from a recruiting standpoint, a talent standpoint, other areas that you feel like needs to be fixed. He also mentioned the game day atmosphere, and it hasn't been great. And partially that because you're not winning, you're getting drilled at home, unfortunately. But hopefully, there for the season ticket holders that have suffered through some of the lesser seasons the last few years, and they were debating or not whether to buy season tickets. Hopefully, that game day atmosphere will be coupled with some winning games this fall.
All right, you listened out there. What did you think? Lewis Automotive Group hotline is open. We're getting some texts now, Ty. We'd love to hear from some of you and your response. Now that we've went through some of the highlights, we'll play some more of the clips, and we'll have more reaction coming up on halftime in the next hour as well. 877-377-6963. I know some of you probably want to go ahead and get your football tickets. Maybe you were fired up to the point to go ahead and put that credit card in. ArkansasRazorbacks.com is where you could go. The U of A has got season tickets still available. That's ArkansasRazorbacks.com.
Brandon says he wasn't smiling at all when asked about the SEC coaches and SEC teams. He said he was stone-faced the entire time. I think it really bothers him to get disrespected like that.
Well, it should. Doesn't it bother you when you get disrespected?
Yeah.
No, I mean, if you don't, I've got a problem with you, and you're never going to command respect if disrespect doesn't bother you. So I'm glad it bothered him.
Josefa texted in and says, I'll tell you what, I'm ready to run through a wall for the coach.
Yeah.
The undefeated season. Zach says, I see no reason to like this guy. I like just the fact that
No reason not to like
Not
the
to
guy.
like. Sorry. Thank you.
Very,
That
very
would-
key
it would
word in
help.
there.
Yes,
Yeah.
very key. You know what I liked about the question that he answered? He went off script. Like a lot of those questions, the answer were rehearsed and off script, but that was something that, I mean, I don't know if he prepared for or not, but he kind of let his personality go a little bit there. And like, I think him.
I'd agree with that take.
In the first few months at Arkansas, I don't realize you want to have things buttoned up. You want to appear polished as the Razorback football coach or any SEC coach. I get all that. But I think fans, I think they appreciate when you do show a little personality, when you do show a little swagger, when you are irritated by certain disrespectful things, as Tommy, as you brought up. So I'm glad Jacob asked him that question. I thought he gave a sufficient answer, and hopefully when they go to Auburn, I know they don't play John Summerall in Florida this. He told us yesterday, he goes, I don't have this clip on hand, but he's like, yeah, if we play Summerall, he was asked about American coaches, Tommy. He's like, well, if we play Summerall this season, that means we had a pretty good season because we play him in Atlanta.
All right, Colton and Christian are loading up some of the highlights for today, so we'll roll through some of that in just a second. Get by the Pradco store inside Bass Pro Shops in Fort Smith. Customize any lure in the lineup only at the Pradco store at Bass Pro Shops in Fort Smith. You can take any lure off the shelf, have a name, company message, whatever you'd like to put, a happy birthday, happy anniversary, or if you want to put a company message on there and hand them out as corporate gifts to employees or clients, you can do that as well. Plus, customize your own lure with your choosing of colors and designs and all of those things. Find out more at the Pradco store inside Bass Pro Shops in Fort Smith.
Still getting to text. Brandon, Kentucky, the narrative about other coaches he has beaten being better than him, considered better than him, has to be demeaning and insulting. Hoping he is preparing to humiliate all that think he is an inferior coach. What is the game I keep referencing, Tommy, that we talk about this upcoming season? Like, I think if there's any game on this schedule, and not for the pizzazz, but just a personal standpoint, I think it's that game in Auburn, Alabama in November. I think that's the game that, while it wouldn't mean as much like the beating Georgia, Texas, or LSU, I think personally that's the one he wants the most this fall.
Why do you think that's the one?
Because, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, I think Arkansas fans were under the impression that Alex Golesh was going to be their head football coach. He elected to go to Auburn instead because Summerall moved to Florida from Auburn. And you got Ryan Silverfield, and as he just stated earlier, about 20 minutes ago, it's like, I got a 5-1 record against not only Golesh, but Summerall as well. And I think that it goes back to that answer he gave. I think he's a little frustrated, and he feels like it's demeaning when people think that Golesh is a better coach, or some of the other guys that he's competing against, or he's not worthy enough, or whatever line of thinking you have towards from a negativity for Silverfield.
Yeah. Well, I think that game, obviously it's going to be a swing game for both schools, but
no question.
I think by that point you're let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's your 9th game of the year. The narrative is already going to be well laid in concrete and drying at that point for both Golesh and Silverfield. So a lot of what that game is going to mean will depend on the record you have at that point, going after 8 games. So
yeah.
That game could mean a lot more if you have 4 wins under your belt, let's say, at that point.
Gunner from West Helena, Silverfield makes me feel like every hard question is asked of him and he answers it the right way. He understands he has a tough job ahead of him and is just getting better every single way he can.
Well, he talked a lot about process today, a lot about day-to-day, evaluating day-to-day things. And what was the quote here? I wrote it down. Let me find it here, going through my notes. But well, I'll come back to that. It's somewhere buried in my scribbling
in your
here.
chicken scratch.
But essentially, the crux of it was that every day you got to get better. That's how he's judging his more improvements every day. Control the controllables, because he didn't want to get boxed in to, hey, not that he was going to ever give a win total for the year, because every coach would tell you 12-0, but he made it clear we're not going to measure success this year based solely on wins. It's about making daily improvements and details. He really came across to me and reinforced the idea that this is a detail guy. I don't think you can be a head coach in this league without being a detail guy, and I don't think every coach we've hired over the last 15 years has truly been a real detail guy. I think this one is.
David from Boonville. Been a long time since a Razorback football coach got me fired up. You were talking about the Arkansas tickets and whatnot as we are 44 days out for the upcoming season, and maybe people are still, like I saw them post a ticket advertisement for like starting at $30 at Tulsa. As people are still potentially mulling over the decision to buy season tickets, I wonder if there's anything that maybe positive that he could say that would push them over the edge to do the expense.
Yeah, and he mentioned 92% capacity for fans. I guess that's based on last year's sold ticket numbers. I don't think the stadium's been 92% on average, but I would like to press that a little bit more. Does that mean that they've sold 92% of the tickets for this upcoming year?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that. All right, we're going to take a break. We got some clips to react to coming up in just a bit from Coach Silverfield. Again, he was just at the main podium. He's got a couple other, he's got SEC Network stuff, ESPN, Marty and McGee, and some other stuff to get to as well before him and the guys fly back to Fayetteville, Arkansas. Again, we're live at Tampa, Florida at SEC Media Days this morning, Tommy.
Yep, and it's all brought to us, Ty, by the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Robert, Elizabeth, Matt, the whole crew is there. Hey, if you need a hat, a shirt, or anything to get you fired up for the season, Ty, they've got it at the Stadium Shop.
Yep, dorm room, man cave decoration, shoponrazorback.com, 479-782-3486, right down from Baum Walker Stadium. More to get to when we come back. Again, live from Radio Row. Going to hear from Ryan Silverfield when we return.
We are live at SEC Media Days in Tampa, Florida. Our coverage of SEC Media Days is brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback next to Baum Walker, the largest and best Razorback shop south of the North Pole. Whether your needs are for tailgating, game day, man cave decorations, and dorm room stuff, it doesn't get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. Local, family, alumni owned and operated. Shop online at shoponrazorback.com.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert.
This is Matt.
This is Raleigh, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
We are the only family, alumni, and locally owned Razorback store. We went to school here. We live here. We get what every Razorback logo means.
Plus, we're the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, and almost every item that comes into our store has our stamp of approval. We want the best graphic on the best item, and that's what sets us apart.
Whether it's pennant, fan cave items, or other clothing, we take the time to get it right.
Hey, Dad, do you know what they call a pallbearer from Tulsa?
No, what?
Karaoke.
Matt, that's my job to do the dad joke.
Well, you said you were going to retire someday, so I should start practicing.
Anyway, you can stop by the Stadium Shop at 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville next to Baum Walker Stadium.
Or you can call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Or if you can't get to Fayetteville, you can check us out on the Google later at shoponrazorback.com.
Dad, you actually got most of that right. How'd you do that?
Well, if you're going to do the dad joke, then I need to step up my Google later knowledge.
There's no hope for you, is there? Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
An abundance of knowledge.
I try and avoid medicine most of the time.
This is the Morning Rush.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful. Not when you work with Tara Limbird and the Limbird Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust a team that delivers results. Go to LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric, and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
It's hay time with Kubota hay equipment from Gray Brothers, like quality-built Kubota disc hay mowers known for their durability and beautiful cut, Kubota hay rakes, and of course the BV Series Kubota round baler. Couple it with Kubota's M Series cab tractor with 75 to 168 horsepower, and you'll have the prettiest hay on the market. With savings from Gray Brothers and special financing from Kubota, today is your day for a new Kubota at Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Is your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore? Dr. Bo Sparkman at Valley Family Dental Practice, Fort Smith, can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 226-3500. Get rid of your CPAP with Valley Family Dental at Riley Farm in Fort Smith and Roland, Oklahoma.
Patio sets the scene. The right grill steals the show. For a limited time during July 4th, extra big deals at Lowe's. Get two 12 by 12-inch square patio stones for only $3. Plus, save $100 on the select Charbroil Performance Series 4-burner gas grill. Now just $179. All you need now is good company. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 7/6. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America. The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight.
About the tough there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
But this afternoon is a day for the Razorbacks to celebrate. Arkansas wins the tournament.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Yeah, the number one thing I said, man, we got to get this team playing more discipline with better effort and then finding ways to take care of the football. And I think all Razorback fans alike will sit there and nod their head, say, yeah, let's get those things fixed and we'll be pretty pleased. And those are things I think that we have the ability to do so immediately. And, you watch the guys. There was a lot of guys that had talent on the rosters previously, a lot of guys that played really hard. But it's my job and our job collectively to bring that together. And so hopefully, this time next year, we're talking about, man, it was a different looking team, the way they went out week in and week out and played like their hair was on fire with great effort, with great discipline. And I think when they do that, we'll be taking steps in the right direction.
I mean, just think about last year, Tommy. So you go 2-10, but you had 5 players drafted.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, what he said's accurate. They've had talent on these teams, even the ones that went 2-10 and 4-8.
I'm looking at some information in my hands now. It says, and I haven't verified this, but it's from NFL.com, so I'm going to assume it's correct. 35 active NFL players are Razorbacks. There's 35 guys, according to this, that are, at least at this point, on a roster in a camp. Now, obviously, some things will change, but, that's a lot of talent in the last few years, but it hadn't resulted in the wins. Mm-hmm. That's where the details, and talking about details throughout his time in the media today, if he can deliver on that, it's not just coach speak. It will not happen overnight, but it will result in Arkansas winning more games. And let's be honest, you can't win less than 2, really. Not with the schedule. But I mean, you're at rock bottom. You're pretty much back to rock bottom when Chad Morris left.
Someone asked me yesterday and was like, what's more likely to happen, them to win 2 games this fall or bowl eligibility? And I thought about it, and I'm more negative than I am positive at just where the football program is right now. It's like, surely like bowl eligibility is more possible than another 2-10 season, right?
That's 4 wins. That's tripling up. That's a 300% increase in your win total.
I think
But again, you've changed your roster, more than half of it. All of your coaching staff, culture change. The reality is we don't know. Last year has nothing to do with this year. It's a different football team.
I would like to Quincy, I think, is heading into his – I can't remember if he's a redshirt junior or if he's heading into his senior year. But I would like to know how many of the guys on – I probably just need to look at this. How many of the guys on the roster were here from their freshman year and are still on this roster?
It's his senior year, by the way. So.
Okay, and I would think that that number's got to be really, really low. And it probably is at other places as well. But the thing about some of these Memphis kids coming over, they're not used to losing. And I know they had that 4-game losing streak at the end of last season, but they've been pretty consistent, hovering, getting close to double-digit wins. And I know it's a lot harder to do in the SEC than it is the American. But I'm gonna be curious how they handle it when they do lose some football games this fall.
Well, and how this coaching staff builds them back up. It's a rhythm sport. You have a week with a routine to it that repeats itself 13 or 14 times. You got a little bit of a break there with the bye that you change up some of your prep, but you don't have time to linger. You got to move on. But that's why I talk about you got to avoid these 3-game losing streaks, because eventually you can't talk your way out of moving on. Eventually you have to, you have to have success in order to stay a hold of the rope.
Yep.
And man, when you lose 10 in a row, it's just impossible to keep grinding. To keep grinding at the end. It really takes some true resolve to do that.
All right, that is your SEC update this morning, live from Tampa, Florida.
And it's brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. The red, white, and blue sale continuing through the end of the month. Doughboy above-ground pools. Get up to $1,500 off in-stock pools. If you're looking for more of a built-in feel but not the built-in price, semi-in-ground pools start at just $199 a month. And you can create the ultimate backyard getaway with an in-ground pool and get a half-price tanning ledge with select pool packages right now. Visit Burton Pools and Spas. 5 locations now: Fort Smith, Greenland, Springdale, Hot Springs, and now in Joplin, Missouri as well. Online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, water for a better life.
Before we get to Ryan, J-Rod, and Winslow texting in, Silverfield seems to have adopted that me against the world mentality that Arkansas has had for many years. I think that is beneficial. I had wondered, like, when Cal came over to Arkansas, it's like, how would that translate in terms of a guy that's a Hall of Famer? I think you mentioned before, it's like we've had Hall of Famers, but they became Hall of Famers in Fayetteville. Like, how would that ideology and the messaging and his aura translate? And he still acts like that they are underdogs and that he's an underdog, even though we know in reality that's not the case. But this truly is an underdog story with the football program based on the things that are against you and what's gone on. And I think I agree with J-Rod in the sense of I think that's how a lot of fans feel based on some of the things that he said thus far, Tommy.
Yeah, we have rarely seen you, like I said, Cal's the exception. You hired the Hall of Fame guy, but you've got to build from the ground up. And he talked about, Calipari calling him last night, telling him to knock him dead today, talking with Dave Van Horn, the camaraderie amongst the head coaches.
Yeah.
He's got some good ones to lean on to when it comes to administrative, when it comes to culture, when it comes to building a program, for some help. But I think the other thing to note, Sam Pittman came in here with how many years of head coaching experience? 0. You're hiring a guy with 10 years of head coaching experience. Now, not all of it's, none of it's at the SEC level. This is a step up in class, to use the horse racing term, for Ryan Silverfield. But this is not someone that hasn't run a program before. This is someone that's been in the head coach's seat, that's made those decisions, maybe at a smaller level, but he's still run the show.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really important point of reference when you're talking about Silverfield and maybe comparing him to his predecessor.
By the way, John Daly was here supporting our head football coach.
He lives in Tampa.
Yeah, he does live in Tampa, so he got a chance to talk with Coach this morning. And and hang out with them. All right, let's go to Ryan, who is in Hot Springs this morning here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Ryan, fire away, man. What you got?
Oh, man, I'm so glad he got to end the way he did because the back right before summer break went on, they come out with a list of the top. They ranked the coaching hires.
Yep.
And they put him 25th. They put the guy above him that just took his job, Charlie Huff, above him. And this whole idea that he's third on the list, or whatever, and that may be how it happened. But at the end of the day, though, he has a better record against the guys that he coached against, and he's completely underrated. I feel like for what he did at Memphis, and everybody wants to point to, he had the most resources in Memphis. But at the end of the day, you're still recruiting to the city of Memphis. I'm not being ugly. There's a reason why that town has a reputation. I'm not trying to be mean or ugly with that. I'm just telling you. Would you rather go play at Memphis, or would you rather go play somewhere like Central Florida? Whenever they were in the American.
In Orlando, yes.
Barbecue's better in Memphis, though.
That's true,
But
Tommy.
but my point though is, you're to a city like Memphis is probably not an easy place to recruit to, even if you have a bunch of resources. And also nobody wants to talk about all the upsets he had over SEC opponents. They might have been bottom of the barrel, but they still, when we get upset, what's the first thing they say is, we had no business losing to Toledo or Liberty or whoever. So at the end of the day, he's got kind of an impressive resume and doesn't get the credit for it.
Well, perception's reality, right? And right now the perception is your program is no good. To borrow the phrase from South Carolina's coach in Beamer, Shane Beamer, everybody thinks we suck. I'm looking at the Bet Saracen app right now. Arkansas's odds of winning the Southeastern Conference title. What do you think they are?
Oh, geez. Plus 20,000?
You knew exactly what they were. They're exactly.
Is that
plus
actually
20.
it?
Yeah, they're at the very bottom with Mississippi State. Kentucky has better odds. Vanderbilt, much better odds at plus 10,000. You can just keep going up the list. The Texas Longhorns at plus 300. You can find all that at the Bet Saracen app. But the point is, why is your odds plus 20,000? It's because the perception is you have zero chance. And you know what? That's probably true this year. But you've got to change the narrative somehow, how do you change narrative? Well, you got to change culture. You got to change people a lot of times. You got to make people believe they can achieve these things. That's the first step in all that. This Ryan Silverfield has to believe it so he can transfer that confidence. If he's not confident that they can build a championship program, then it's never going to happen because that confidence has to be transferred from him to his staff to players, and everybody's bought in and believes this can happen. If it can happen at Indiana, it can happen here. You just got to have the right people circled around the campfire to do it.
I think, it is so fun when this team is humming. Even a 9-win season back in 21 or that 8-win season when you went 5-3 in the conference in 2015. Obviously, 2010, 2011, 2006, 02, 98, 95. When Arkansas football is going there, that man can do no wrong, and it would just be nice to have one of those type of seasons again. You're not going to have it this year, but at some point it would be real nice to get back to that threshold of double-digit wins.
Well, duh, yeah. It would be really nice, but it's a long road back. It's like losing weight. It's a lot harder to lose 25 pounds than it is to gain 25 pounds. It's just going to take a whole lot more work and effort. So you can gain it in 2 weeks, it seems like. But, man, it'll take you a year to get that off. So, Arkansas fell from, I don't want to say the glory, but it was been the golden years in all of our lifetimes, after the motorcycle wreck. And it has taken a long, winding path. There's been a few good high points, but you're still not back there. And even though you get to a point where you've won 9 games in, 21, or in, 15, you won, I think, 9 games. You still can't, 8 games, you still can't, you can't sustain it. So it's not just about getting there for a season. It's about sustaining some level of success. And, oh, by the way, we're playing 9 SEC games now. So, the difficulty of what you're doing, you're playing 10 power conference games a year. So, the challenge is even greater than it was in those previous moments of just limited success.
I did get a kick. I don't know if he did this intentionally or not. Did you hear the hogwash quote?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But I'm wondering what makes you different, what makes you unique from other coaches and how you approach.
Yeah, what you see is what you get. There's, to put it in unique terms, there's not a lot of hogwash with me.
I thought that was pretty funny. And I think you'd asked the question before we went to break about, hey, do you want him to just give you information, or do you want him to kind of have some fun? And I like, he definitely supplemented his 30 minutes with information. Definitely gave you some information, but he also, I think, had some fun up on stage.
Some moments of being entertaining. He didn't. The room didn't erupt in laughter, but he's not there to do a comedy routine. That's not what he's there to do. I thought he was engaging. I thought it was a passing grade. Was it an A+? No.
What would you give it?
A B+.
Okay.
I thought he's a little nervous, but that's expected the first time you do something of this nature. I thought he was just fine. Passing grade.
Think about this. So we always talked about this with Morris. I don't know, like for Pittman, you mentioned he didn't have any prior head coaching experience. Morris did. But, like, SMU is what, the 10th or 15th most paid attention to part of Dallas?
Okay.
Maybe like 20th. Like, the Arkansas head football coach, as big as Cal is, as big as DBH is, as big as some players are, it is always the most talked about job position in the state of Arkansas, right? And so you obviously just mentioned he's got 24 years, I think what he said, in coaching and several years and as a head coach as well.
10.
At 10. So that, at least from that vantage point and that perspective, while this is the biggest presentation he's had to this point, at least some of the things that he's going to encounter won't catch him by surprise this fall.
He had some cliches in there and some of his, crutch phrases probably, but that's okay. I didn't think his presentation was cliche-riddled or filled with coach speak wall to wall. But all of this, we're going to forget in a matter of weeks. Camp's going to start first part of August, and we're 43 days or 44 days from the first game. All of this is going to become a distant memory fairly quick. So we'll talk about it today. It is important. He's capable of handling the PR part of the job that comes along with it. He passed that grade today, but nothing today is going to have one iota of anything to do with winning the game in 44 days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is it's going to go by the wayside pretty quick once you actually get to football season. Again, it's 44 days out. We're going to be a month out pretty soon. It is it's crazy how fast, and there's a yearning right now for sports, being that this is the doldrums, the dryness of really the sports calendar here on July the 23rd.
Well, what we all need is a good meal, and that's where Joe's Grill and Cantina comes in. Man, I am locked in on these steak, mushroom, and spinach enchiladas. Had them for lunch again yesterday, but they have got a new summer dish with their squash medley. You say squash medley, Tex-Mex, trust me, they do the best grilled vegetables. And, yeah, they got great fajita vegetables, but these are like squash, zucchini, some onions all blended up, and they put them on that flat top, get the right seasoning on them. They'll take that, and they'll put chicken or shrimp with them. It's a fantastic plate. You can check that out. And there's 3 different options on that. I love the enchiladas. I was with our buddy Lance. He had the voodoo enchiladas, which are the crawfish. You can try those out. And the ladies in the office it was Nacho Average Wednesday yesterday. They had the big macho nachos. Those look great as well. So if you're thinking Tex-Mex for lunch today, hey, it's 10:40. It's time to think about where you're eating for lunch. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
All right, so anything else, Tommy, you think was notable from today? I feel like we've gone and
he spoke about Ron Roberts. I thought it was interesting how he had tried to hire him before and steal him away and bring him to Memphis, but couldn't because Baylor, your dad's school, came up with the money for the buyout.
Those Bears. Well, here's we'll play that real quick.
A guy named Ron Roberts. All right, Ron Roberts, a lot of you guys have known throughout this league, had a lot of success, has been around, has been an FCS head coach. Have a lot of faith in Ron. In fact, I actually interviewed him while I was at the University of Memphis when he was the D coordinator at Louisiana Lafayette. Tried to bring him a part of our staff and actually couldn't afford his buyout. A couple weeks later, he ended up at Baylor. But a lot of faith in what Ron's doing. He's running the defense. and he knows what it's done. He's looked at a lot of these offenses throughout the SEC, throughout the years, and excited to see what we're going to do on the defensive side of the ball.
So he went two different directions for his coordinator role. The SEC route, one, and then two, he went with what he knows in Tim Cramsey, who was there with him at Memphis. And like one of the things that Sam Pittman was benefited by, one of the reasons they went 9-4 and 21, is because a lot of people thought he had the best coordinator duo in the country, or not in the country, in the conference, I should say, with Kendall Briles and Barry Odom. Now, down the road, the defense started going the wrong way, and the offense wasn't the same, and then Briles left, and you just never recovered.
Yeah.
I don't know where those two rank in terms of their quality, in terms of how helpful they'll be to Coach Silverfield this fall, but I do know how important those two guys were for Sam Pittman in 20 and 21.
Yeah. Let's. Do we have anything on the quarterback battle? Did we get that?
Yeah.
KJ Jackson, AJ Hill. He says they can compete at the highest levels.
Great faith in the two guys that are competing for that starting job as it sits today. KJ Jackson and AJ Hill, both are very, very intelligent. Both are very hardworking. Both have the skill set in order to lead us to a bunch of SEC wins and compete at the highest level. So thrilled with those two. Everybody keeps saying, when will a decision be made? Listen, they're going to continue to battle through OTAs and summer access, and then through training camp, and then we'll look up later at the end of August and see where it sits.
He also he joked with us yesterday about you'll find out at the coin toss. He was kidding about that. But yeah, that's just kind of I would guess we're going to hear more of the same in the coming weeks once they do some media sessions with fall camp about the quarterback position and who's starting this fall or not.
Yeah, and I think the players know, and the players will know early in camp who the guy is. It may be weeks after that. How much access you'll get to fall camp, I don't imagine it's going to be a great deal more than what it's been, although there was a little more time in the spring. But, the players know. The players are going to know who's leading the team, and they'll determine it based on how well they perform for one guy versus the other. So we may not find out to the week of, but I think the players are going to know, may already know.
Mm-hmm. No, they might.
Yeah.
I know that's the number one question outside of, just wins and losses and I think we've asked this week what the identity of this team's going to be, because I don't really know, like from an offensive standpoint or a defensive standpoint.
I thought he told us today. I mean, he talked about running the football. He said the offense starts with running the ball, and he has faith in the offensive line and faith in his running back. So he also said, that doesn't mean we're going to line up and run it 60 times, but he did talk about his offense is going to start with running the football.
Well, I mean, every coach this week has said that, so I think that's pretty what you feel like you have to do in the SEC. And I know you had the success doing that last year. 4 of your 5 offensive linemen, that position, but maybe the most important one outside of center, left tackle, even if you've got a lefty in KJ that's going to be throwing the football this year, that's one of the positions you got to get solidified and figure out hopefully sooner than later.
That's what makes that right tackle spot, and Bryant Williams or Aiden Hawks over there probably even more important.
Well, they got that. I mean, Williams is going to start. You've got Breland at left guard, Kittler at center, Kobe at right guard, and then Thompson there. So you're not worried about that.
My point in that also is we talk about left tackle, but if you're going to have a left-handed quarterback, right tackle, and that blind side, I guess is what is the point I'm trying to drive at there. So, all right, brought to you by Gaston's White River Resort. What makes Gaston so special? Why is Gaston's kind of held on a different level or a different shelf maybe than some other places around our state? It's not the only place in the White River, but it's the place that's got everything. Plenty of acreage, plenty of frontage on the White River to spread out. They got about 80 cabins and lodges, and all of them have a view and have the deck and the back of the house face the White River, so that you can sit there and enjoy a view. You can look out the window in the morning, drink your coffee, and look at the river roll by. That's one thing that makes it special. They've got a pool for the kids and the grandkids or everyone in your group to enjoy. They got the airstrip on site to watch planes come and go, and if you're fortunate enough to have a way to get there by air, you can land your plane on their grass strip. Lots of planes come and go in there. They got a restaurant that overlooks the White River. The John Boat Salad Bar that you can start your meal with. Great breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. There's lots more reasons. I think it's the people, though. It's the guides that know the river. It's the front office staff that make you feel welcome. And it's the restaurant people that attend to your every need. Gaston's White River Resort, 870-431-5202. It's 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
Join Lewis Automotive as they celebrate America's 250th celebration.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Kevin Hart here to tell you all about Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus salsa. Hey guys, I kind of feel like you're chopping off my head a little bit. I'm the money. Don't forget that. It's spicy, balanced with a sweet and tangy citrus touch that makes everything taste even better. And the best part is it comes with. I kind of still feel like you ain't got all of me. The best part is it comes with anything on the Cantina menu. So you better try it before it's gone.
New jalapeno citrus salsa, the sauce with more main character energy than Kevin Hart.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports, to me it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Rich Eisen here with some advice. If high-interest credit card debt is grinding you down, it might be time to call an Audible with a SoFi personal loan. It consolidates your debt into one low monthly payment with no fees required. And with as soon as the same-day funding, you can make the right play fast. Call an Audible on your debt today at SoFi.com/debtplay. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891. Fast funds terms apply at SoFi.com/debtplay.
Summer is here and adventure is calling. Visit Southern Tire Mart for a new set of Yokohama tires to get your vehicle ready for summer travels. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let Southern Tire Mart ensure your vehicle is ready for the open road. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Is your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore? Dr. Bo Sparkman at Valley Family Dental Practice, Fort Smith, can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 226-3500. Get rid of your CPAP with Valley Family Dental at Riley Farm in Fort Smith and Roland, Oklahoma.
Need more customers? I'm Lance Gregory with ESPN Arkansas. Let me help you grow your business with the power of radio and digital marketing working together. From radio advertising to targeted digital campaigns, I can help you reach the right audience, increase awareness, and drive results for your business. Let's build a marketing plan that fits your goals and gets new customers. Email me today at lance.gregory@hitthatline.com. Radio and digital sales combined, helping local businesses grow.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Join Lewis Automotive as they celebrate America's 250th celebration with the Pick One event, where it's your choice of a $250 gas card, an Arctic cooler, or a 2-year maintenance plan with the purchase of any new or used vehicle.
All right, final segment here at Radio Row SEC Media Days. Really appreciate Robert, Elizabeth, Matt, Raleigh, all the whole team at the Stadium Shop on Razorback being our presenting sponsor this week. Whether you need stuff for tailgating, man cave decorations, they have it at the Stadium Shop. 479-782-3486. That's 479-STADIUM. Or go to shoponrazorback.com. The Stadium Shop on Razorback, right down from Baum-Walker Stadium. Note of significance heading into tomorrow. What do we have coming up, Tommy?
Fenceman Friday picks? We'll do those tomorrow.
Those, but what you just mentioned.
We'll see what else tomorrow. We'll get ready for the weekend. We'll talk about all the grilling stuff we might want to do. We'll wrap up media days. You'll be back in studio. Is that what you? Yeah, all that tomorrow.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or
not.
not.
I was just going to let you say.
Okay. 20 years of the
you're all choked up about it.
20 years of the morning rush tomorrow. Crazy.
Yeah.
We're gonna a few former hosts join us and have some fun. Crazy. It's
yeah, we're gonna be celebrating 20 years of the morning rush.
You would have thought I would have derailed it starting in 2020, but
still not sure that's not going to happen.
Despite my my incidents on this very air, you have kept this thing afloat. And we will have 20 years tomorrow. And we found the first Paul Eels interview, so we got that. Good job, Big C. Halftime's coming up next. Alyssa's sitting right next to me with Matt and Colt.
Smith, have you seen the all-new Bass Pro Shop outpost on Bass Pro Drive off Rogers Avenue? Step inside and check out the Pradco store.